They say the words we never say are the ones that haunt us the most. And for Lee Min-ho, that truth lingered like an unfinished melody, a note that was written, sealed, but never sent, because somewhere in the quiet corners of his heart, there existed a message, a letter meant for only one person, Kim Go-eun, a letter that carried the weight of 8 years of love, regret, and everything left unsaid. It all began when an old notebook resurfaced, one that fans claimed belonged to Min-ho himself. A few pages torn, others smudged with ink and time. But what caught everyone's attention was the folded piece of stationery tucked between the pages, marked with a single line at the top. For Go-eun, but not today. The internet exploded. Rumors spread like wildfire. Had Lee Min-ho written to her after all this time? Was it real, or just another rumor born from nostalgia? But those who had seen the handwriting said it was unmistakable. It was his. Every loop, every stroke, undeniably Lee Min-ho's. The letter, though never sent, read like a confession long overdue. It began softly, almost like a whisper meant only for the moon. You once told me that timing is everything. That maybe love isn't about finding the right person, but being the right person at the right time. I guess I was neither. He wrote about their first meeting, how she'd walked into that script reading room for the king, eternal monarch, hair tied carelessly, laughter light as wind. You smiled without realizing it, and I forgot every line I'd memorized. It wasn't just a letter. It was a story written between breaths. But then, the tone changed. They said we looked perfect together on screen. What they didn't see was how real it felt off camera. How every glance became a question. Every silence an answer. Do you remember that night after filming the rain scene? You caught a cold, but you still laughed. You said the rain made the world feel clean again. I didn't tell you then, but I wished it could wash away my fear too. His fear of being seen, of loving openly, of breaking something too beautiful to last. Fans who read those words couldn't hold back their emotions. It felt raw, real, like peeking into a private world not meant for public eyes. But the letter went deeper and darker. They told me to deny everything, to protect my image, to smile and say it was all just chemistry. But how do you deny something that beats inside you? When the rumors started, I stayed silent, not because I didn't care, but because I cared too much. I thought silence would protect you. Instead, it destroyed us. Those lines broke the hearts of millions. Because for years, fans had speculated about the strange tension between them. The lingering looks, the matching accessories, the quiet way they'd speak about each other in interviews. But never like this. Never this open. As the letter went on, it became a confession of a man caught between fame and feeling. You taught me what simplicity felt like, how happiness didn't need an audience. But I was already trapped in one. Cameras were my shadow, and I let them decide when I could smile. If I could turn back time, I wouldn't ask for another role, or another award. I'd ask for one more moment, the one where I told you to stay. Those words became the headline of every fan forum overnight. I'd ask for one more moment, the one where I told you to stay. A single line that carried a lifetime of regret. But the letter wasn't all sorrow. There were glimpses of warmth, tiny flashes of the laughter they once shared. You'd scold me for drinking too much coffee on set. You said it made me restless. You were right, but not for the reason you thought. I was restless because I couldn't stop looking at you. I kept the bracelet you left behind. It broke years ago, but I still keep it in a drawer. Because some things are meant to stay broken, so we remember not to repeat them. That line hit differently. It wasn't about jewelry. It was about them. Two souls who had collided in the right world, but perhaps in the wrong lifetime. When the public found out about the letter, Lee Min-ho's agency stayed quiet. No confirmation. No denial. Just silence. And that silence spoke volumes. Because sometimes, saying nothing is saying everything. As days passed, fans began connecting dots. Old interviews, body language, fleeting glances. That one moment when Kim Go-eun mentioned, "Some people never really leave you, even when they do." And that quiet smile Lee Min-ho gave, when asked about unspoken connections. Were they both speaking about each other? Through hints, through gestures, through the only way two people bound by contracts and image could? Then came Kim Go-eun's response. Not in words, but in action. She posted a photo. A single white envelope on a wooden desk. No caption. Just a pen. And a folded page inside. Fans flooded the comments. Is she replying? Is this her message back to him? No one knew for sure. But the timing, just days after the letter leak, was too poetic to ignore. For a moment, the internet stood still. Two people, two hearts, and two letters. One sent too late, and one that may never be read. Insiders later revealed that during the filming of a promotional video years ago, Min-ho had once slipped a note into a prop book. The crew didn't notice. Go-eun found it after filming wrapped. The note read simply, "You're the calm in my storm." She never spoke of it publicly, but she kept that book. Always. The story of their love, if it can even be called that, became a quiet legend. Not because it was loud or public, but because it was unfinished. A story written in fragments. Letters, looks, and silence. Months later, during a fan event, a fan asked Min-ho, "If you could tell someone something you never had the courage to say, what would it be?" He smiled. That kind of smile that hides pain in plain sight. And he said, "I hope they know I tried." The room went quiet. And though he never said her name, everyone knew. It's strange, isn't it? How love can outlive words. How one unsent message can echo louder than 1,000 spoken ones. Lee Min-ho's letter was never meant to be read. But maybe that's why it matters. Because in its secrecy, it was pure. Not crafted for the cameras. Not rehearsed for interviews. Just a man writing to the woman he never stopped thinking about. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in the quiet hours of the night, Kim Go-eun read it. Not the copy that leaked, but the one she felt. In every line he never said. Because sometimes, love doesn't need to be confessed. It only needs to be remembered. And for Lee Min-ho and Kim Go-eun, that memory still lingers. Like the letter he never sent.
비는